History and tourism of Statue of Liberty. Colossal sculpture in New York Harbor. Statue of Liberty. Liberty enlightening the world. Liberty enlightening the world. Height of Copper Statue to torch, 151 feet 1 inch, 46 meters from ground level to torch, 305 feet 1 inch, 93 meters. The Statue of Liberty, Liberty enlightening the world, French, La Liberté éclairant le monde, is a colossal neoclassical sculpture on Liberty Island in New York. Harbor in New York City, in the United States. The copper statue, a gift from the people of France, was designed by French sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi and its metal framework was built by Gustave Eiffel. The statue was dedicated on October 28, 1886. Liberty enlightening the world. The statue is a figure of Libertas, the Roman goddess of liberty. She holds a torch above her head with her right hand, and in her left hand carries a tabula ansata inscribed July 4 Matkaksvi. July 4, 1776 in Roman numerals, the date of the US Declaration of Independence. A broken chain and shackle lie at her feet as she walks forward, commemorating the national abolition of slavery following the American Civil War. After its dedication, the statue became an icon of freedom and of the United States, seen as a symbol of welcome to immigrants arriving by sea. The idea for the statue was born in 1865, when the French historian and abolitionist Edouard de Libellai proposed a monument to commemorate the upcoming centennial of US independence, 1876. The perseverance of American democracy and the liberation of the nation's slaves. 8. The Franco-Prussian War delayed progress until 1875. When Libellai proposed that the people of France finance the statue and the United States provide the site and build the pedestal, Bartholdi completed the head and the torch-bearing arm before the statue was fully designed, and these pieces were exhibited for publicity at international expositions. The torch-bearing arm was displayed at the Centennial Exposition in Philadelphia in 1876, and in Madison Square Park in Manhattan from 1876 to 1882. Fundraising proved difficult, especially for the Americans, and by 1885 work on the pedestal was threatened by lack of funds. Publisher Joseph Pulitzer, of the New York World, started a drive for donations to finish the project and attracted more than 120,000 contributors, most of whom gave less than $1. The statue was built in France, shipped overseas in crates, and assembled on the completed pedestal on what was then called Bedloes Island. The statue's completion was marked by New York's first ticker tape parade and a dedication ceremony presided over by President Grover Cleveland. The statue was administered by the United States Lighthouse Board until 1901 and then by the Department of War. Since 1933 it has been maintained by the National Park Service as part of the Statue of Liberty National Monument and is a major tourist attraction. Limited numbers of visitors can access the rim of the pedestal and the interior of the statue's crown from within. Public access to the torch has been barred since 1916. Design and construction process. Statue of Liberty in 2010. Origin. Both the Roman goddess and sun god. The unconquered sun, pictured, influenced the design of. According to the National Park Service, the idea of a monument presented by the French people to the United States was first proposed by Edouard René de Laboulaye, president of the French Anti-Slavery Society and a prominent and important political thinker of his time. The project is traced to a mid-1865 conversation between Laboulaye, a staunch abolitionist, and Frédéric Bartholdi, a sculptor. In after-dinner conversation at his home near Versailles, Laboulaye, an ardent supporter of the Union in the American Civil War, is supposed to have said, "If a monument should rise in the United States as a memorial to their independence, I should think it only natural if it were built by united effort, a common work of both our nations." The National Park Service, in a 2000 report, however, deemed this a legend traced to an 1885 fundraising pamphlet, and that the statue was most likely conceived in 1870. In another essay on their website, the Park Service suggested that Laboulaye was minded to honor the Union victory and its consequences. With the abolition of slavery and the Union's victory in the Civil War in 1865, Laboulaye's wishes of freedom and democracy were turning into a reality in the United States. In order to honor these achievements, Laboulaye proposed that a gift be built for the United States on behalf of France. Laboulaye hoped that by calling attention to the recent achievements of the United States, the French people would be inspired to call for their own democracy in the face of a repressive monarchy. According to sculptor Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi, who later recounted the story, Laboulaye's alleged comment was not intended as a proposal, but it inspired Bartholdi. Given the repressive nature of the regime of Napoleon III, Bartholdi took no immediate action on the idea except to discuss it with Laboulaye. Bartholdi was in any event busy with other possible projects. In the late 1860s, he approached Ismail Pasha, Khedive of Egypt, with a plan to build Progress or Egypt carrying the light to Asia. A huge lighthouse in the form of an ancient Egyptian female fellah or peasant, robed and holding a torch aloft, at the northern entrance to the Suez Canal in Port Said. Sketches and models were made of the proposed work, though it was never erected. There was a classical precedent for the Suez proposal, with the Colossus of Rhodes, an ancient bronze statue of the Greek god of the sun, Helios. The statue is believed to have been over 100 feet, 30 meters, high, and it similarly stood at a harbor entrance and carried a light to guide ships. Both the Khedive and Lesseps declined the proposed statue from Bartholdi, citing the expensive cost. 14. The Port Said lighthouse was built instead, by François Coignet in 1869. Any large project was further delayed by the Franco-Prussian War, in which Bartholdi served as a major of militia. In the war, Napoleon III was captured and deposed. Bartholdi's home province of Alsace was lost to the Prussians, and a more liberal republic was installed in France. As Bartholdi had been planning a trip to the United States, he and Laboulaye decided the time was right to discuss the idea with influential Americans. Arriving at New York Harbor, Bartholdi focused on Bedloes Island, now named Liberty Island, as a site for the statue, struck by the fact that vessels arriving in New York had to sail past it. He was delighted to learn that the island was owned by the United States government. It had been ceded by the New York State Legislature in 1800 for harbor defense. It was thus, as he put it in a letter to Labelai, land common to all the states. As well as meeting many influential New Yorkers, Bartholdi visited President Ulysses S. Grant, who assured him that it would not be difficult to obtain the site for the statue. Bartholdi crossed the United States twice by rail and met many Americans who he thought would be sympathetic to the project. Please subscribe to our channel for travel updates.